What? Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Alright guys, so this is a video from Jubilee's called Strangers Rank Their Intelligence. IQ versus First Impressions. Alright, this should be interesting, y'all.
I wasn't planning to go to college. That wasn't like a goal of mine. My parents were like, well, you should apply to at least one college. And I was like, we'll never get in here. And then I went to Yale.
I could definitely relate to that because I actually graduated the valedictorian of my high school. And what's interesting about that event was I remember I was very nonchalant and borderline. I just didn't care, period, about applying for a college. And it was my guidance counselor that actually forced me to apply for scholarships, because had I not, I literally would have to pay out of pocket, even though I had the grades to get the scholarships, and I ended up going to college and I did get the scholarships. But definitely there's a weird thing that takes place when students may not have the desire to apply for college, but that does not mean they have a low IQ. So this should be interesting.
Should we just like go down and do
intros?
Yeah, I'm Sade, I'm 24. I work in finance. I have a bachelor's degree. I went to Yale.
I'm Tyler, I'm 21. I'm a high school graduate and I work in the Marine Corps.
I'm Kaylee, I'm 25. I'm a software developer. I went to Ohio University and I have a bachelor's degree.
Ooh, a software designer. Man, that must take a lot of brain power. Let's see, y'all. Put it down in the comments. What y'all believe? Don't try to cheat. Don't try to, skip ahead. Tell me what you actually think. What were your first impressions of who's going to have the highest IQ?
Maria, I'm 30 years old. I have my PhD in cancer biology and I work in a biotech industry. Grad school, I went to University of South Carolina, and undergrad, I went to University of Florida.
Hi everybody, my name is Sean. I'm 27. I'm the director of social media for a company, and I also work for a digital ad agency. I got a double major in dance and cultural anthropology. Undergrad, I went to Loyola Marymount University.
Hi everybody, I'm Ray. I'm 24. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in Harvard recently, and I work in consulting.
I ain't gonna hold you, y'all. That one dude, he seems like low key. He probably has a high IQ, and shows like this, they always try to get you. I ain't gonna fall for it. I think this dude probably got a real high IQ.
Oh, they're babies.
I know, that's what I was saying, is age a factor?
Yeah, it gives you like years of experience.
Yeah,
in
I guess
Maybe it's good to identify what intelligence means to everybody.
I think intelligence is better defined as your adaptability and your problem-solving skills more than it is your education. Obviously, like the education, the stuff you've been through puts a lot into play in it because it gives you more resources, more thoughts to draw from.
I like this dude. I like the fact that he said that, the things that you've gone through in life, you have more to draw from. And the reason why I like that response is because he didn't seem to put a lot of stock in just formal education. There's more to being intelligent than just being book smart. And you're talking to someone who actually was book smart and was the valedictorian. I've learned way more outside of school than I did in school. But hey, that's just me.
Formal education definitely helps, but I don't think it's in any way essential.
So what is the most essential?
I'd say the most essential thing would probably be common sense.
Yeah, so for me personally, I think intelligence is both EQ, IQ, and that common sense, street smart intelligence, all of that combined.
People consciously or unconsciously, when they see someone, form an opinion immediately. Like I'm sure we all did right away.
When I saw you, I told myself, Maria, do not judge him just by his looks. He could be throwing you off, or that's just who he is, but he can talk the talk and walk the walk. Sean.
Yo, Maria, I actually feel that answer. I actually, could agree 100%. I ain't gonna get got. I've done watched too much Jubilee to know that this is how they operate. I ain't gonna fall for it, y'all. I ain't falling for it.
I didn't want to judge him based on the way he looks or dresses or acts. So I was like, I think he's intelligent.
First impressions, I would put him at the bottom only because when I was in school, all the other people with like the bright neon colors and stuff, they were typically the ones doing worse in classes. If we were ranking confidence, I'd definitely put Sean at very first place.
So what is the definition that we're going with is the biggest question.
I like your definition.
I know, I was gonna say, I like my definition. It combines everything.
Does anyone have any like initial?
You know, there's people out there. I would like to actually throw this out on you guys, the public. You know, what do y'all think? Because do you think humility, the ability to be humbled, is that a source of high IQ? Because I actually think it is. I actually think it is a sign of a high IQ when you're able to actually be humble. I didn't really like what she said there, where she's kind of like, I'm sure you came up with it. Everybody in their mind is probably thinking that their definition is probably the best. But when you actually vocalize it, it comes across like, this person is a little bit too full of themselves. You know, maybe they're one of those pompous individuals, very prideful. So I don't know. I think that right there is actually social intelligence. The ability to read the room, the ability to interact with your fellow peers. That's a form of IQ as well. And when you come across as that person, oh yeah, I think me, myself, and I, that very prideful nature, you lose some IQ points there.
You can be honest. Start on that side. I'm done going first.
I feel like I have a good combination of both, like book smart and street smart. So yeah, I think I have some input on that. There's so many aspects to intelligence. It really goes beyond IQ and EQ. Even those two different factors really don't really capture what it really means to be intelligent.
I know I'm not, from Yale, I don't have a PhD, but what I lack in those areas, I'm able to still problem solve and use my own skill set, my emotional intelligence as well as my social intelligence.
Besides my education and background, I feel like I have high emotional intelligence, I'm aware of my surroundings.
As a software developer.
This girl, something about this girl. Yo, I'm telling y'all, man. Something about this girl just rubs me the wrong way because, again, I don't sense a lot of social intelligence with this one. The social intelligence is not with this girl. I'm telling y'all, man.
Developer, my problem solving skills are obviously top notch, I think I would say. My whole life I've kind of had to fight to be seen as intelligent. I think I'm so used to having to do that as a woman to just step up and be like, yep, I deserve to be here. My first job out of college, I was working at a law firm. Gentleman came up to me and said, hi, you don't look like somebody that would work at a law firm. You look like somebody I'd go on spring break with. And I'm like, what?
This is another thing I want to throw out there, because this is a very interesting conversation. What is intelligence, right? What is a high IQ really? But me, I'm of the mindset, and it could be obviously because of my background, being someone they would classify as black, right? But because of my background, I kind of grew up all my life knowing that life is not fair, right? And I just find it that there are some people who kind of like to use the excuse like a race or a gender as to the reasons why people look down on them. And is it possible? It probably is. There's probably some truth to it. But when you carry that burden all throughout your life, I just wonder, is that a sense of high IQ? Is that a sense of intelligence? Because again, I think it's actually more intelligent. Now, I'm not here to brag. I'm not here to present myself as better than anyone else. What I am saying is that I think it would behoove you if you understand reality and you just let it be. You're not defined by your circumstances, or you're not defined by your disadvantages. I already know that the statistics say that if I apply to a job, just because my color alone, I may not be given the same opportunities. But if I carry that all my life, and then everywhere I go, that's like my identity. I just feel like that's actually not a high IQ. That's just me personally.
Obviously, out of everyone here, I've got the least formal education. I consider myself intelligent. My mental dedication and my ability to adapt and to problem solve. What I do in the Marine Corps, I'm a seabird defense specialist. So I think that by virtue of what I do, that already requires some amount of intelligence.
Sorry, quick question. So do you think that only certain people can do your job, or do you think anyone can do your job?
Only certain people. You have to take the ASVAB before you go into the military. That's not really how much you know, but how well you can learn information. And I got a 94 on that. It's not an amount of how much you study, how much you know. You're not going to really get better at learning. Does that make sense?
I strongly disagree with you don't get better at learning. The idea that you can get better at learning is a pretty big signifier of intelligence. I'm very much dyslexic. I have ADHD, and I'm on the autism spectrum. Dyslexia means that there's a big gap in comprehension. So I was scoring 99th percentile in certain areas and like 3rd percentile in others. I'll never be able to learn another language. I took Spanish for 12 years, and I can still basically only order a burrito.
You see, this is exactly my point, right? This girl had dyslexia, right? And you see, notice how she didn't lead on with that. She still managed to go to college. She still did well for herself. So again, this is exactly my point. Like, there are certain disadvantages that people are put, or just have in general, just by nature of being alive, but they still have to overcome. Going off of what she said regarding that other brother, the white fella, I actually disagree as well. I remember going to school, and I actually was literally last in my class in early, like, pre-K, kindergarten. Many teachers said that, he can't speak, so maybe we should put him in, like, the special ed. And, if it wasn't for the grace of one teacher who said, nah, I actually, been following this boy, although he can't speak, but it seems like he's very intelligent. So let's actually put him in what they called the Eagle class, which was the gifted class. And man, that teacher ended up saving my life, because had I not been placed there, who knows, I probably would have been a byproduct of my environment. I probably would have been ripping and running on the streets. But because I was placed in a class where all the other students were pushing me because they were intelligent, that actually helped me grow. So I do believe you can actually improve in your ability to learn over time.
And why did you go to Yale, and why did you go to Harvard?
My parents are immigrants from China, and I'm a first-generation immigrant as well, and college student as well. My family always really stressed the importance of formal education. For me, that was something that I really strived for.
I wasn't planning to go to college. That wasn't like a goal of mine. My parents were like, well, you should apply to at least one college. And I was like, we'll never get in here. And then I went to Yale.
Why don't you guys rank each other from 1 to 6, including yourself, and give reasons why you want to do what you're doing?
You gotta go 1.
No.
Oh yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would...
Whoa. Man, I was rocking with the sister for a minute until she put my boy last place. Just because he went to the Marine Corps, that doesn't mean he's not intelligent. Come on, man. These people gotta think. They gotta think a little bit deeper. There's a lot of intelligent people that didn't go to formal education, just like the guy said earlier in the video. I mean, this is the problem with society. And you know who really operate in this mindset the most? Women. They love talking about their degree and, their credentials. And they swear by it as if it's the be-all, end-all. And truth be told, it really isn't. They passing on a lot of brothers just because these brothers don't have a bachelor's degree or a master's or a PhD. That does not mean these dudes are stupid. I mean, what was that dude who made Facebook? Was it Mark Zuckerberg? There's a whole bunch of cats who dropped out of college and they like billionaires today. Come on, man.
Rank you as a 6, not meaning that you're not intelligent. I also think that I don't place a lot of value on the military.
Period.
You see that? You don't place a lot of value on the military. You see that? Oh my God. Man, that's how disrespectful are these people to the veterans. I mean, this makes me sick. I ain't gonna lie. This one, she went to Yale. Yeah, that's true, but she's kind of annoying me right now. I ain't gonna lie.
No, full stop.
I'd probably do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry.
I'm the villain this episode.
Does anyone think they're like at either end of the spectrum?
I'd say I'm 1, if nothing else, because I know what I'm about and I'm sure of that.
Wait, you guys have to rank everyone too. That is so unfair. No.
I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh.
Sorry.
Man, these girls, they really... Man, Tyler ain't looking good right now. I mean, even outside of just the IQ, I damn near think like they borderline judging the brother almost as if like they wondering if they can ever mate with him or something. I mean, like this dude outside of this, I'm very curious if this man has a woman or, you know, if he's good with the ladies. I'm very curious because right now it seems like all the ladies got him in last place. All the ladies. God.
It's hard for me to look past the education part. Going to college, I think you learn a lot, if nothing else emotionally. But I still think you're smart.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, immigrant parents, first generation going to college, humble, modest. 2, me, I don't know, PhD, cancer biology scientist. I work in a biotech company. We make COVID-19 testing kits, stuff like that. And then 6. It has nothing to do with your background. I don't think you really have the highest EQ out of all of us. Tyler, he ranked last for me personally because the way he carries himself. He was ranking intelligence based on his point.
What I tell you. The way you see, again, right now, these women, they are not judging Tyler at all based off of real intelligence. It's just how he's coming across to them. He probably is rubbing them the wrong way. You know, like, this is borderline, you know, shoot. I mean, it's almost as if they judging this dude based off of if they are attracted to him or not. This is crazy, but you see, this is what I'm telling you, man. Women, they put a lot of stock in this education stuff.
Point of view and not taking in other people's point of views and compiling results, but really just came down to his body language, his demeanor, the way he carried himself, the way he acted towards the group.
I would put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 6. So the reason why I put you at number 1 is I think you have the highest, not only EQ score out of everybody, but the way you present yourself, as well as being a PhD student, I think is just like a huge thing. And I put myself 6 because I feel like I might be the weakest in terms of actual IQ score. Hopefully I can make it up as everything else. So I did put myself as least intelligent. However, if it can't be me, I definitely think Tyler, unfortunately, his way of thinking is linear, and I think intelligence is almost like a sphere. It's a picture, and right now he's only coloring with one color, then, you know, with the rainbow.
He seems like he's coloring with the rainbow. Man, stop that bullshit. Look, and it's so funny, man. Cause there's a lot I could say about this fella. I'm not even gonna go there. But, you know, all the colors and all this stuff, I mean, it just screams out Skittles. It just screams out Skittles. I mean, it's a spectrum. It's all about the colors. Oh, my God.
Who got the most number 1s? Thank you. Down?
Who got the most?
Sean A was
like
pretty
you.
up there too.
I feel like you were definitely 3, right?
Yeah, I'm in between
You were
Harvard and
4.
Yale.
5.
I think that I sort of expected to be ranked a little bit lower. At first glance and first interaction with me, it's hard to tell how intelligent I am. It's hard to tell how intelligent anybody is.
Is anyone upset with where they're standing?
I think it makes sense that I'm down here. Like the guy who graduated from high school and then joined the military, he probably wouldn't be like high up on there. If I was in their shoes, I definitely would have also ranked myself among the lowest.
I do feel like there might be a prejudice acting in
You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Tyler, it has to be intelligent. People could say whatever they want about his demeanor, but notice what he just said. He said that if he was in their shoes, he would rate himself the lowest as well. He's very cognizant, y'all. He's very cognizant of how he may seem in society. And that's high intelligence. I'm telling y'all, man. When you are aware of how other people perceive you, and you still have the confidence to go on in life, not being, judged by your disadvantages or where you come from. This brother's intelligent. Mark my words, y'all. Mark my words.
In terms of ranking you
Okay, I was thinking that
highly,
too.
but I agree with the ranking. I think you probably are the most intelligent out of all of us. I would feel weird placing you there and not acknowledging the dynamics in which we did so.
So, truth be told, I think I've taken an IQ test like once in my entire life, and it was very weird. It's not formal like, math or English. Like the questions they ask you on IQ test is very odd, and I think sometimes they actually go based off of like patterns. So I think that's very interesting. Again, I think there's a lot of people who take IQ tests or who will take IQ tests in sometime in their life, and they may be very shocked as to what they actually score. I mean, getting straight A's in school does not mean you necessarily have a high IQ.
Hearing that I had to take an IQ test was definitely hard to hear. Quantifying things for me in that realm is really hard because it gives you something really solid. Even if you don't buy into IQ tests, it still gives you a number at the end of the day, which is something you have to grapple with.
I literally thought when you said to open the computer or we're going to look at social media, that I didn't think an IQ test would be part of it.
It was kind of expected. We're being ranked by intelligence, an IQ test. It's not that far out the realm of possibility.
So number 1 is Raymond. Number 2 would be Kaylee. Number 3 will be Tyler. And number 4 would be Shada. Number 5 is Sean. And number 6 is Maria.
What? Look at this shit. Well, congrats to, I forgot his name, but the Asian brother, shout out to him, because as a child of an immigrant parents myself, I can respect the hustle of having to, grind it out in a foreign land and still, elevate yourself above your peers. So I really respect that brother right there. I'm very, the sister that got 133, I'm actually very surprised because she was pretty much synonymous with being number 4 throughout this whole experiment. And the fact that she actually has the second highest IQ out of this bunch is extremely interesting. Tyler beat out the girl that was in Yale, who, she's the one that actually started off this whole women bashing Tyler thing throughout this experiment. But they got the same score. So I don't know why they actually did that. So I take that back. They both got 131. So I don't know why he's actually, third. But the fact that he's even equal to a Yale student, just think about that. This man who didn't go to college, he went to the Marine Corps, worked in the military, is actually equal to a Yale student according to the IQs. But let's actually really just bring it out. I'm actually disappointed, obviously, because, the dude with the colorful clothes, I actually thought it would have been like a curveball, like he might have been higher than I thought. The fact that he's low, though, I'm not going to lose no sleep from it. It is what it is. But let's just talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. Maria. She got 112, y'all. Now, mind you, if you guys actually look at the disparity amongst the group, the first, if just doing the math, y'all, that is one of the biggest gaps. She got 112. And the other brother, the colorful dude, he got 123. That's 11 more IQ points. That's 11 more IQ points. And literally everybody in that group is so close for the most part, right? Like, what's the difference between 2 or 3 IQ points in the grand scheme of things? Probably not much. But she's a whole 11 points away from the rest of the group. Think about that, y'all. And I'm gonna share something with y'all. You know, again, pride coming before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. You know, there's a lot of these girls and men too, but in this situation, it was the women. They are so prideful. They think that because they have these fancy degrees, that they could just shit on everybody and to hell what anybody thinks. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't mean that they are intelligent. It simply doesn't. It doesn't. I would even go as far as to say this. I'm almost certain most of you have this experience. Do y'all know that one friend or that one colleague, whatever, that probably is a doctor or some other fancy title they have, right? And that's all they could talk about. They don't know nothing about politics. They don't know nothing about world issues. They don't know nothing about the economy. They only know what's in their field. And it's such a chore and it's so boring to talk to these individuals because they will talk you to death about what they know, but they are completely ignorant and blind to the world at large. And that fundamentally is probably the issue with this woman. Now, mind you, I don't hate her. I don't even, I don't put a lot of stock in IQ points. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she's stupid. I just think that her achieving what she achieved, which is the PhD, although it is something to commend, right? I'm not going to take that away from her. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you got a PhD in that field, it only means that you are a master or a doctor in that field. That's pretty much all it means. It's like the same thing, as a musician, which I am. If I was to get a PhD in music, it only means that I am a doctor or a master in the realm of music. It doesn't mean that my math skills are great or my social skills are great. It don't mean anything like that. My common sense is great. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that I'm good at that degree in which I pursued. This is a great experiment, y'all. Let's keep going.
I think an IQ test tests something. I don't think it's intelligence. It's definitely testing something. IQ tests are now known to be flawed and based on incorrect sample size.
Shut up. Woman, shut up. I don't want to hear that. I really don't want to hear that. It's testing something. I don't know if it's testing. She's probably saying that because she's butthurt that she was behind Tyler. Shut up.
Sizes, I have really severe dyslexia. There's 2 questions on that test that I automatically basically can't answer.
I'm sure if you studied for an IQ test, you would do a lot better.
Yeah.
IQ tests are just one aspect or one way to measure intelligence. It's really on a spectrum what constitutes somebody as intelligent.
Before this, all I knew about IQ tests is that they existed, and the I stands for intelligence. Today,
Yo, Tyler was petty on that one. I ain't gonna lie. He really wanted to emphasize the intelligence because he surpassed both that girl that was right. I don't know why I keep forgetting her name, but the one that started it all. You know what I'm saying? And Maria. He really wanted to emphasize, it measures intelligence. Yeah, it measures intelligence.
them saying the EQ, that was the first time I've ever heard that term in my life.
Coming back to intelligence, it's not just your IQ, it's your EQ, it's your common sense, it's street smarts. Sure, it is some type of metric similar to an SAT and ACT score is a metric for getting into college, but there's more to that person than that test.
I'm actually excited I wasn't last because I thought I was gonna be last, not gonna lie. I think an IQ test is a good indicator to see how people handle pressure, but I think that's easier to make sense in our heads that, oh, you're smart and you're not smart.
Definitely don't think it's the best metric. I've been exposed to tests like these probably more than most people here. That already gives me an unfair advantage.
This is my villain redemption arc and climbing up the ladder.
Alright, so that's the end of this one. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts throughout this entire experiment. But anyway, with that being said, Nick over and out. The message sent. Jesus is king, y'all.